maybe I'm gonna maybe I'll do the roof. I'll finish with the roof tonight because I think that might be a little more complicated than the foundation walls. So we'll do the stairs and foundation walls next time, but let me just do the roof for you all because I think that will.
Is it frustrating for you to have to teach what you can draw in an hour over the course of like 2 months?
No, no.
It's just crazy, you know what I mean? Like, you spend so much time with I can barely grasp it, and you're just like, an hour, you almost done the whole thing.
That's frustrating for us.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to think, right? I've been doing it for 10 years,
right?
12 years.
I wonder how boring. I was thinking how boring it gets for you. Like, oh my gosh.
No, actually, no. I mean, there's so many like surprising scenarios that occur in that time, right? Plus, it's kind of good practice, right? Just to continue to do it over and over. It's funny to say, but I actually, a lot of times, drafting is really kind of a soothing thing to do, you know? There were times I would go in the office and I would just kind of look forward to being able to sit there and draft all day because it was just really kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure once you have the gist of it, you understand what you're doing.
That's true. Once you get past the cry stage. Yeah, we like to call it the cry stage. Okay, so here I am at the roof, and we have two roofs actually that we need to draw, and I want to see both of them. This is A on A31, and let's see. That gives me somewhat of a good idea. We've got a lower roof and we have a higher roof, right? And ooh, it's starting to get towards the end of the night. Doing so well all day. All right, so we have the high roof and we have the low roof. And that high roof, it starts at, let's see. Sorry, let me get my bearings here again. Where are we at? So we're cutting the chimney here, which would be this piece. Okay. So that is the 47. That's the 15-foot mark right there, right? So let's look at this roof actually right here. And that's the one that goes through the chimney. So this roof section over here, if I'm looking at this correctly, it starts at that 10-foot, 10-foot 3, right? So it starts at level 2, top of wall, and it goes up to the top of roof, okay, which is from top of floor, it's 15 foot 4. Okay, so if I remember right, that's the lower roof. And if I look at this, it has a 112 slope, right? So let's draw that. And I'm going to go back to my floor plan here, or my roof plan. Let's see where it's at here. We're cutting through the chimney right here. So the piece of roof that I'm going to draw first is this piece. Okay, and I can see the outline of the building below it. You see that dashed line? That indicates where the building below that roof is. Okay, so it goes to there. So let's do that first. Okay. So I'm going to go to top of wall, and we're likely going to have to adjust these. Again, we're going to have to adjust these, right? It's what you do in Revit. You revise things. And so I can see the underlay of my walls below, but I think that might have just been a fluke because likely when you go to your roof plans, you won't see anything. You'll see maybe the chimney, but you won't see the walls. And the reason behind that, again, we've kind of talked about this, but it's because if I look at my levels, if I look at my roof plan here, I'm looking 4 feet above the roof plan, right? Or top of wall, I'm looking 4 feet above top of wall, so I'm not cutting anything there. That's why I don't see my walls in that view. And so to remedy that, I have to use my view range, all right, to change that. So this one was lucky. We were lucky here, and it has, let's see, we've got an underlay going here. So level 1, I'm going to change that to none. And what I am going to do is go to my view range, edit, and the bottom needs to be level below. Level below. Okay. So now I can see all that good stuff. And now I can use that to help me draw my roof. Okay, so I'm at top of wall. I'm going to draw my roof. I'm going to click on roof by footprint, and I need to start looking at this, and I'm probably going to start somewhere maybe kind of in here drawing my roof. Okay, I have a 5-foot overhang on this edge, so I'm going to use my pick tool and 5 foot, enter, click. Okay, I have a 2'6" overhang right here, 2'6", enter. There we go. Oops, that was a mistake. And then I've got this is actually 5'6" here. So 5'6", enter. There we go. This kind of comes out to here, it looks like. This is 11 foot from grid line 6. From here to here, it's 11 foot. So from grid line 6, let's see, there we go. DI dimension. So from the building to there we have, oh, it doesn't quite go out to grid line 8. We have 11 foot. Okay. So this little guy, this little kickback here, happens 2 feet off of grid line 3. So grid line 3, I've got a 2-foot offset, right? And it doesn't look, this doesn't look pretty, right? It doesn't look correct, but it will start looking that way soon. I'm going to trim, TR, click, 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 right? So it comes down, it goes over, it kinks down, which is the way it should look. Oh, it's 3 feet there. 3 feet, I did that on accident. So instead of 2 feet, oh, it is 3 feet, okay. And I go all the way to here, which is 11 foot, right? Goes all the way to there. I think my deck needs to be adjusted just a tiny bit. Goes to here. And that upper roof, which I'm drawing, right? It goes all the way over, so it's gonna come all the way down to here, which is grid line C. And the edge of that roof is 6'9" off of grid line D. Okay, so grid line D is this line right here. And that is, I'm going to move it, MV, 6'9", enter. Right, and I'm going to trim TR, click, 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 click. And now I have the outline of my roof, right? Now I'm going to look back at my section here real quick because I don't remember. A on A30. Let's see. So the low portion is the opposite side of the fireplace, right? So this is the high portion of the roof. This is the low portion of the roof, okay? So I have to have full screen to do this part. So if this is the high portion and this is the low portion, we're essentially going to allow this line to slope up to that portion, okay? So I feel like this is a bit counterintuitive, but what that means is that only this line of my roof, my single slope roof, will be sloping. And it's going to be sloping at a 1/12 slope, okay? So each of these other lines, I'm just going to drag and select them all at the same time. They, oh, I might have picked something I shouldn't have. Here we go. They don't need to be defined with slope because they're not sloping. Only this one is sloping. Now, all of these lines follow this one, right? The roof slopes up, and all of these edges and things, they slope up with that roof. But the way we define this roof, this is the only one that has a slope attached to it. And it's going to be 1/12. And I'm going to hit finish. Let's do this. I want to turn to a 3D view so that we can look at it. We can see the magic happen, right? At the same time. There's our roof sketch. I'm going to hit finish, and there's our roof. Okay. Now I'm going to adjust my deck a little bit under here because I bet that it while I'm looking at this. AL, I'm sure that it probably follows the roof line here. Here we go. But now the roof looks good. It starts at top of wall and it goes up, right? These walls are not sort of following it. So I'm going to select those walls, and you notice if I click on one, hold Control, click again, click again, click again. I can choose Attach Top to Base. Click on that, and all of those walls connect up to that roof. There we go. Okay. One more, I promise, I'll be done. Everybody's getting tired. Good night. I'll do the other side of the roof, and then we'll call it for tonight. All right, so I'm going to go back to my my top of wall. Let's close that out. And I have this roof, right? And now it's time for me to do the, that is the, let's see, that's through the chimney. That is the higher roof, right? And now I want to do a lower roof, essentially, okay? So this roof starts at 8 foot above finished floor. So I can create, let's just create another level. There's nothing wrong with that. So we'll call this top of wall, and I'm going to create another level, LL. And we are going to call this one, and it's going to be 8 foot above level 1. 8 foot, enter, oop, change my scale to 1/4 inch. There we go. And we will call this top of low wall. Okay. So that's where my next roof is going to start, and then it will slope up gently at a 112 slope to wherever it ends, essentially. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my my low, wherever the roof starts, I want to start at. So I'm going to go to top of low wall. And sorry, I always forget. The chimney is the high point. I always forget which way this is sloping. All right, so now it's time for me to draw this portion of the roof. Okay. And so I'm going to go back to my lovely roof plan and look to that to see where that roof is going. And it looks like we have 3'6", 3'6", 3'6", 3'6", and then we have, it looks like it ends a foot off of this grid line, which is grid line C. Okay. So I'm going to go to roof by footprint, and this one is going to be, let's see, it's going to be, I'm going to use the line. I'm going to type 3'6", enter, and really I'm just going to start drawing from my grid line. Right, and it's drawing a 3'6" overhang all the way around. Okay, except for when I get to this point and I want a 1 foot overhang. So at this grid line I get a 1 foot overhang, and I draw it. It's not perfect, but that's okay because I'm going to TR trim, and it looks good. And again, this is my low point of my roof, this is my high point of the roof. And so, and it's a single slope roof, which means I'm going to grab all of these lines here and uncheck define slope. And this one's going to change to a 112. And see, I always cross my fingers at this point. I'm like, please work, right? I spent all this time drawing you. Lovely roof. And let's do WT, window tile, and we'll look at this and hit finish, and there's the other lovely portion of my roof. Okay, and I'm going to use attach. So ooh, we got a little tricky thing right there. We'll talk about that next time. I can still use attach top to base. I can grab all those walls that are kind of poking through, right? I want to grab these that aren't quite, these that aren't quite hitting it. There we go. And attach top to base. Click. And they all very nicely attach to that roof. We have a little issue happening on the inside here. So I will talk about that. I'll talk about that next time, I think. But we're going to have to draw a wall on the inside here with a base offset that will not show in the floor plan, but will cover that gap in between the two roofs, right? Here's the great thing about Revit, right? I like being able to look at my little house and I see things happening. I see results, right? There's a little house there and I can see, you know, progress being made, and it looks like a real house. So that's kind of one of my favorite things about Revit. All right, I think we'll stop there. And I'm going to go to level 1 here. So next time we meet, we'll do stairs, and I'll add the basement. Okay? So we'll go from there. Any questions before we stop? Okay. All right.